Good morning, everybody. Today is August 2nd, 2021. And for this month, I said I was going to create videos, maybe not every day, but every few days. They're only going to last maybe about 5, 10 minutes. I don't know. I'm not wanting to create any long, drawn out things so that, I don't want to lose anybody's interest. Um, I am an author and a poet. I'm a CPR instructor, and professionally, I'm a life and health coach as well. I live here in the Georgia area. I'm a single man. I have two children, aged 19 and 29. I live here by myself. I have a lot of family, cousins, and aunties around me, and a few friends. But I wanted to start creating some videos. I have no agenda as far as who they reach. I'm just creating these videos in hopes that somebody will hear this message and or hear my messages and just want to use the information. That's my only agenda, just to put out information that's given to me. I'm a spiritual person. I believe that God communicates to all of us. We all have a purpose. We just need to recognize that we need to pay attention when God is talking to us, when He's telling us something. No different than He did 2,000 years ago with Abraham and Moses and Noah and any of those guys. God is always present. He's omnipresent. He always has been. I don't fall into that category of religion, but I'm spiritual, and I believe that we all have a purpose, and it's all of our purposes to spread what we know, what we receive, so that other people can get it as well. Today, I want to talk about dating, and I want to talk about men and specifics to dating, because I feel that all of us as people, we all are connected, no matter what color you are. Men, we all have similarities, yet we're all individuals. And so, same thing with women. We all are connected. We all have similarities. We all bleed the same blood. We all have the same exterior features: eyes, nose, lips, a voice, all of that. Internal organs, all the same, just different sizes, perhaps. But yet we all are very unique as well. So I want to say that first. And in similarities, we also have similarities in our thoughts and dreams and ideas and our passions. We all have similarities in those, yet we're each very unique. But in order to grow as people, we need to recognize that, come to grips with that, adopt that into our thinking, and know that, hey, none of us are better than anyone else. I have a quote that I say about myself: I'm shamelessly flawed, yet perfectly made. And that's for all of us. None of us are perfect. None of us are even near perfect. I don't even like people saying that term, I'm not perfect. But that's obvious. That's like saying I don't have two heads. We do have flaws. And I'm going to talk about one of my flaws in hopes that someone else can relate to this and spread this to someone they know and love. I'm a single man. I've been married and divorced a few times. Not always my fault, but I do know and recognize my role in the failure of my marriages. And even growing up as a young man, being single, a young man, teenager, one of the things that as a young man, I was always crazy about trying to get me some, trying to find a woman who would lay down and have sex with me in some sort of way. I don't know where that comes from. I believe that, when you're growing up, you have people who are in your life, whether they're your uncles, your brothers, your neighbors. When you go to the barber shop, you hear people talk about all these different girls and things like that. And I believe for me, I would hear that and think to myself, wow, ooh, I want that. At a very young age, probably 12, 13, 11, could have been younger, that I heard these messages of get a woman, have sex. That was the message. It wasn't about find a person, fall in love, because secretly or silent, not even secretly, you would hear men, I would hear men who were married men who were still amongst other men We're speaking the same language. And sometimes around us kids, thinking that we weren't listening. Oh, I was listening. So for me, I believe the mindset growing up was it wasn't necessarily about finding a woman that I could fall in love with and have this great life with. I always heard this message about having this woman, having that woman, how good or how fine or how sexy a woman was, but it was never about finding just the one. So with that mindset, I was always trying to find more than one woman all the time and put so much energy into that instead of putting energy into what does Nelson want to accomplish? What do I want to be? What can I do to improve the quality of my life and my career and my education and my pursuit and my spirituality, learning who I am? How can I put energy? Why wasn't I putting energy into that? I was more focused on putting energy into these other areas that really weren't that important. Um, and I say that because I believe many men think like this. Again, it doesn't matter what color you are. When you're growing up, the guy, the star athlete, he's a star athlete. He wants to be the star athlete. But at the same time, when the game is over, he's going out with trying to find as many women as possible. Pro athletes, you hear it all the time. All of these pro athletes that we watch and we admire, not all of them, but some of them, many of them, you always heard about them and having all these other children on the side and things like that. And I think that when we pursue that, it takes away from us being able to be the best person we can be. When our focus is how can I pursue and how can I attack and how can I persuade, convince this woman to lay down with me and have sex and do sexual things to me as well. I believe it's a trick. I believe it's a way to keep us from being the best version of ourselves. Doesn't matter if you're an athlete, professional athlete. Doesn't matter if you're a rock star. It doesn't matter if you're a politician or if you're just a guy who works for somebody else at some company doing whatever you do. Whether you're a teacher, whether you're a construction guy, whether you're an electrician, whether you work at the corner 7-Eleven, no matter what you do, we can always improve who we are and pursue what's best in us if we get to the mindset and thinking that, you know what, it's not about trying to pursue this woman, these women. It's not about trying to see how many of them we can conquer. If we just focus or put some focus in who we are really within our mind, with our thoughts, within our spirits, and grow that, just put that energy into that, all that other stuff will appear to not even be significant. But what can become significant is if we just find that one woman, that one person, when that time is right. See, when that time is right, instead of trying to force that and put the energy into that to make that be something that we want to pursue, instead of doing that, focus on what we want to accomplish within ourselves. Focus on what kind of education you want to have. Focus on those dreams and those ideas that you know are burning inside of you, but you don't put all of your energy into fulfilling that, into accomplishing that, because we're putting energies into other things and it takes away from what we really feel that we really need to accomplish, what we want to accomplish. It takes away from it. So this is just part one of this. I don't want to make these videos more than 10 minutes, but I just want to get it out there to men. Hey, it's not about that. And you're hearing this from a man who's been there, done that. You're hearing it from a man who's, I haven't been the best person. Matter of fact, I can acknowledge my flaws and my weakness in those areas. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've hurt women. I've been hurt. But now I'm at this place now where I want to just share information that can help others grow. That's all. So if you're a young man or older man, and you're hearing this, and you're thinking, wow, That's been me. Hey, reach out to me. Respond here. Make a comment here. Leave your information here. And let's start a movement, men. Again, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Latino, Asian, or any other country of man is out there. Let's start a movement where we're putting out information about, hey, first, seek that which is within yourself. Uncover that passion that you have. Make that the priority for your life instead of pursuing a bunch of women to have sex with. Because we all know, guys, we all know. I'm speaking to the men right now who've been there. It's in the chase, right? It's in the chase. The chase is where it is. Trying to do that. The time we spend in the chase. Once we lay down with that person, guys, I'm speaking real truth here. Once you lay down with that person, tell the truth. Isn't there a part of you that feels like, man, I know I spent this time trying to pursue this. I know I finally got this woman here who's doing this to me, who's having sex with me, but there's something about it. Now I got to get away. I got to get up and go. I got to leave. And I'm telling you guys, that feeling of having to leave is your spirit telling you that you were doing something that you shouldn't have been doing. It felt good in a chase, but once you got it, you realize, man, that didn't feel so good. Has nothing to do with the woman. It didn't feel good within yourself. You knew there was something about this that you shouldn't have done, and you did it anyway because you took away from your spirit man. You took away from that man that really should have been on a different journey, and you gave in to that weakness. And now in that moment afterwards, you realize it, but many of us, you shake it off. You shake it off like, that ain't nothing. Oh, it was nothing, but it is. It is something. That feeling that you know you have. And I'm saying this because I know I had it. And like I said in the beginning, men, we all are very different, but yet we're all very similar. And we're very similar in how we feel internally. And we're very similar in how sometimes we don't really share what's in our hearts, and when our souls, we don't share it. We're similar in our pain. We are. And we need to recognize that and start pursuing those things that are really, truly going to give you life. They're going to give you a sense of happiness in your pursuit of what you want to accomplish within yourself. Let's start working on that, guys. Again, I am the full Nelson Brown. If you want to comment on this video, please do so. If you want to share it with someone else, please do so. Because I'm going to share information to help us grow as men, as what we are supposed to do with our lives, as we're supposed to share with other men. It's time to stop all the foolishness. And if you agree with me, again, comment, leave your information, start following me on these videos. I don't know how many I'm going to do, but I said for August, I'm going to do one every few days. And hey, if you want my book, There's Gold on Top of That Mountain by Nelson Brown. It's on Amazon.com. Thank you for listening. Bye. Didn't work right. Thank you for listening.